Here we go. We're going to hop right back into action here. Straight into the game. Flipsid Tactics taking on Supersonic Avengers. Game number 1 underway already. Flipside on the board. Basically just wanted to get an idea of how Flipside's going to play here. I think that's one of the big reasons I wanted to tune in. And so far, so good. Right?
The usual Flipside, usual scores, the usual market data getting for the goal. So yeah, this is looking like a one-sided show, albeit Supersonic Avengers. Well, let's see if they can come back from this one. ELMP, SFX, there's been some tenured players in SA are. Sorry, it's in Rocket League. I was going to say the other name, but I can't really say it right now. But yeah, we'll see if Flipside Tactics can keep it going for this one. 2-0, doing a good job right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Best rule of thumb is if you want to refer to the previous game, it's called Battle Cars.
Battle Cars.
That seems to be the easiest way when you're actually trying to say it. If you want to type it out, you can use the initialism, but yeah, trying to actually say S-A-B-P... No, I think I'm getting that wrong. Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. It's much easier to just say Battle Cars. Anywho, so a little bit of surprising news, actually, out of this tournament, which happened over the break. Team Rocket was eliminated from the tournament 3-1 by Supersonic Stars. Very surprising. So maybe a little bit of a revitalization for Supersonic Stars, who I thought were kind of out of things. You know, that they didn't quite have the same team. I don't really know what to say. They didn't really have quite the team dynamic that they did back when they made the challenge a couple weeks ago. But now, pretty good win for them over Team Rocket. So we'll have to see how the rest of this tournament unfolds. But right now, you know, this is a series that I think everybody kind of expects Flipside to win. And I think the big thing here, well, there's SFX actually helping to close this gap a little bit. The big takeaway, I would say, from this is, for one, I want to see how Flipside's playing, how things are looking in terms of, you know, how they're going to fare against whoever makes it to the opposite side of the finals, assuming that they make it quite that far. And, you know, it's just a natural assumption, but still, my point stands. But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As we do see Kucher get a goal for Flipside. Flipside have been tested before. Doesn't look like it, at least in the first game, but you never know. Supersonic Avengers can probably do the Avenger thing and avenge themselves some wins, hopefully. But as the moment, 2 minutes in, 3-1 right now on the game score. Flipside Tactics doing a really, really awesome job.
Yep, looking good for Flipside out of the gate here. But yeah, it is game 1. Even the 3-1 score, the fact that the game is looking, I would say, a little closer than the scoreline shows, doesn't necessarily mean much. Because the one thing Flipside does a lot is adjust how they play. And what I mean by that is when they're playing against a team like Supersonic Avengers, they might not play as hard if they're not playing against a team like Team Rocket or Swarm or somebody like that, who they know for sure is going to give them a little bit more of a challenge in terms of just typical performance. So that makes them really hard to gauge and really hard to figure out exactly what's going to go on. Starting to get some reports that Steam might have gone down again. Sunday curse, apparently. But so far, the game is going well. Nobody's been disconnected, and we're just going to keep rolling with this for as long as everybody's actually still able to play. There's Mike Rules. Nice little touch. Tries to put it on goal, but still nothing. But they are doing a good job of at least keeping the ball on the blue side of the pitch, preventing anything from developing for Supersonic Avengers. But I will say, if this is where the tournament ends for Supersonic, it's a good run. It's something that they really needed after having some bad luck the past few weeks. So, good for them to at least get this far and hopefully start to kind of increase their position on the overall power rankings. For those of you not familiar, myself and a few other folks help organize the European power rankings every week, which go up on Reddit, and kind of rate the top 10 teams and a few extras just to kind of keep a full scope of the scene. And yeah, we just kind of evaluate the teams and figure out who is really a top-tier team and how their performance week to week starts to affect that. And yeah, this has been a crazy week. It's really kind of throwing our power rankings for a loop. That's for sure.
Everyone wants to climb the ladder. That's for Flipsid Tactics. They're on top of the ladder probably. But yeah, everyone wants to climb the ladder. So you will see some upsets, some very, very big games come into play. So hopefully we'll see some differences. Probably not Flipside, but everybody else will have something coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how the end of this tournament, kind of what we're looking like by the time we are done here. We could see a shift at the... well, maybe not. We could potentially see a shift at the top of the leaderboard. It's hard, because even if Flipside were to lose, which can happen, it would be one loss after dozens and dozens of wins, you know? So, you know, what carries enough weight to actually dislodge them from the top of the power rankings? I don't know. But either way, you know, really the big thing I look for, since the top of the card is so hard to follow, is how the other teams do. How do teams 2 through 10 plus, you know, perform? Now there's Mike Rules, gets a early goal, basically solidifying that Flipside wants to remain at the top of the power rankings. Look at that nice little touch off the corner, floats it above the defense. Just really solid work. But yeah, it's all about how do these other teams perform, not just here at ESL, but in other tournaments that they play in, MLG, Gfinity, you know, everything overall. And it's a very interesting scene to watch unfold, because it's a constant moving machine. I don't think we've had any real consistency in our top 10 aside from that #1 spot for a while now.
Yeah. And it would be cool to see them do like a 52-week win of scoring and just owning up the whole league. You know, 52 weeks is a year, and if a year of Flipside Tactics is around, that would be really interesting to see, as we do see Kucher get another really, really good float goal. But it's a possibility. There isn't really anything that is lacking from Flipside Tactics, and that's the biggest reason why they are #1 in the EU League.
It is, but I think their time is coming. It's just a matter of finding a team that can match up to them. You know, I think their closest competition right now is Swarm, just in terms of consistency. And after Pro League, I mean, that was a really big, game-changing result, I think. Get the right button here. All right, Mike Rules getting the 3rd goal of the game. You can see he gets a nice little touch off the wall there, directs it into the net. I mean, so far, these are just some pretty easy setups and easy chances for Flipside. They're not really being challenged so much in this game. And it's just been on the blue side of the pitch practically the entire time. You know, they haven't really done a lot to turn this around and set up chances on the other side of the pitch. And there's another one, Mike Rules. Just really smart redirecting. Smart awareness of where the ball is going to be and how he needs to make an approach to it, and that's something that's typical across the entire team of Flipside. And it's those little things, just that little bit of awareness and the fact that they can make such nice, easy touches and put stuff in. Oh, that was... okay. That was a little crazy.
Literal triangle right happened, and unfortunately it was the own goal, but Lucky got a good bounce. Unfortunately, it didn't go in, but ELMP kind of nudged it in as well. Unfortunate defense, but good job by Flipside, just keeping it going 5-0. Just showing the dominance that they have been ever so often, probably like every week, ever since the beginning.
Yeah, they really kind of came to emerge during Europe Cup number 3. I mean, they've been a pretty solid. They were a solid team ever since. They won the very first Europe Cup. They've won all Europe Cups except for number 2, by the way, just to put this into perspective a bit. Every Europe Cup has gone to Flipside. But they have gotten very... Like, they started off really well, but once number 3 hit, that was their... I believe that was their last ESL tournament as Teamy Weemy before Flipside, before they got that role with Flipside. But yeah, ever since then, ever since they had this solid three-man group here with Kuxier, Mike, and Marky, they have just been dominant in everything. Every tournament they've played in, they've won. You know, if Flipside is in the tournament, they have not lost. You know, the only tournament that even Kuxier can say he hasn't won since then has been this past Friday when he was filling in on Teamus Weemus. So, it doesn't really count. Oh, that was a nice little goal and stop there by Onole. But pressure still on. Yeah, it's a little relentless. I was hoping things might be a little bit closer. But, alas, not quite so lucky there. So yeah, 6-0 here, game number 2, pretty comfortably in the hands of Flipside Tactics. They should have their spot securely fastened, I guess, whatever you want to call it, for the semifinals. That's where they're headed next. But they got their ticket booked.
Yep, they have their ticket booked, sealed, and delivered pretty soon. But again, this is only game number 2. We'll see if Flipside Tactics can finish up the series. Albeit, I don't think anything's really going to stop them. Supersonic Avengers has not even gotten a shot at goal. I would believe so, but I'll actually check this soon. But it's amazing to see how Flipside Tactics, yet again, just playing it all too good.
Yeah, they have not put a shot on net at all this game. Marky Duda, 6 shots on goal. Mike Rules, 6 shots on goal. Kuxier, 7 shots on goal. It's just been relentless on the part of Flipside, and the scoreline shows it. The gameplay shows it. You know, everything is just very aggressive on the part of Flipside, just constant shots. There's another one for Marky. So, we'll take a look at the final score sheet at the end of this game, and you can kind of see just how dominant Flipside Tactics has been this game. I mean, we're in game number 2 right now. A scoreline like this. Alright, so SFX does get a goal, but honestly, that's really, like here's where that comes in. Flipside plays a very aggressive style. 3 forward, all in, high pressure offense. Yeah, you can punish that, and you might get a goal or 2 off of it, but that's after Flipside has scored 5 or 6 on you. So, it doesn't really matter.
Especially at this point, when it's already 7-up, and you were, what, 30 seconds away? Yeah, 1 goal. Not going to be the detriment of all the things that Flipside Tactics did in game number 2.
There we have it. Game 2 ends in the Brazil. 7-1 for Flipside Tactics. They're going into game 3 pretty comfortably ahead here. And I think having a nice, solid run into the semifinals. Not a lot to worry about for this Flipside team. You know, that really wasn't the kind of performance that Supersonic Avengers had to bring here. But series isn't over. They're in must-win mode now. They could try and get the impossible, never-before-seen reverse sweep, despite the fact that we saw that on Friday. Doesn't matter. Never before seen.
Never before seen. Never before seen. We do see Kuksher have a little bit of ping issue. I guess he's a little bit high. 104 is... I mean, I guess ping is a thing that we've never really talked about, and especially in a fast-paced action game, unlike Rocket League, it's going to be very detrimental if you're above a little bit above your normal ping. So hopefully everything settles down for him. On the other hand, you know, vehicle esports are computers / whatever console you're playing as well. So internet is very important. Make sure you have some good interwebs to play it. As we do get in game number 3, about to start up right now. Future actually on the ball. Let's see if we can actually get a goal in yet again. Nah, I'm not going to start this one up there.
A nice one to turn aside by Ono there. Instead of redirecting it to the front of the net, he shoots it back across the field toward the far corner. So good play. It's very hard to get a good clear on Flipside. I mean, look at their positioning right now. You've got them covering the entire blue side of the pitch. Nobody's behind the halfway mark. They're all just kind of covering the whole side of blue. You know, there's somebody in every part because they know they want to be there to catch rebounds. They know, you know, here's Kooks here. Great shot on goal. Floats it over there. I mean, it just, you know, they've got the coverage they need. They got the awareness they need. They're just going to keep bringing that really aggressive style because who's going to stop them? That's all it comes down to.
No one, literally. And they were actually pretty much at the deep end of blue side goal, so they were literally at wind's end. If the ball just knocked right back out to the other side, they probably wouldn't catch it. So really, really super aggressive stuff coming up from the side.
Yeah, exactly. And it is incredibly aggressive, but this is an example of a team that knows how to play that style very well. Mm-hmm. And you see it every time they come up to the other side of the pitch. In fact, I'm going to go to a little wider cam so you can kind of see it when it really unfolds here. You know, as I was mentioning earlier, it can be punished, absolutely, mm-hmm. and it has been. But the problem is that they bring this aggression and they do it so well, and you can see they go up to the blue side of the pitch and they're spread out. You know, somebody's on one end of the blue, the other side of the blue, and somebody's in the middle. They're keeping that whole offensive zone covered. I mean, sometimes they can get back to cover defense because the ball doesn't move fast enough, or because they're in a good enough position to help slow it down. So even if the clear happens, it's not with a lot of force, it's not with a lot of energy, and it's really hard for the opposing team to figure out where to clear it to. You know, you can see what Supersonic Avengers has to do here. They're trying to play it high off the wall. They're trying to get it past Flipside. And look at Kooks here, way over on this side. Here comes Mike. He's going to try to back him up. You had Marky on the far side. They just keep the blue zone covered. They keep their opposition zone covered. It makes it very difficult for anything to happen. And by the time they can actually clear it out, there's Flipside already back in position. So this is the play that every team in Europe has had a nearly impossible chance to beat. There's a little bit of actual miscommunication there. Sending both cars flying.
Mark a little bit too far ahead. Future now going to be play cleanup. Mike, a little bit of a knockoff run to the midway. And now we do see some aggression coming out from Supersonic, but Supersonic going to get paid from that aggression. Oh no, leg. Going to be able to defend the first shot. But the rebound, Marky Duda, the next second goal for Flipsid Tactics.
Yeah, you can see not a solid clear on that. Really just had to do what he had to do. Mm-hmm. But Marky was pretty much able to close that out without too much of a problem. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing really solid play out of this team. A little bit of luck, actually, on their part on that kickoff. Both went to gather boost instead, and the ball just broke a little far to the right instead of going into the net. But, yeah, it is just looking very good for Flipside, just very smart play. They don't have to run up a really high scoreline to look like the dominant team. You know, a lot of that you can just see in how they play and what they're doing and the decisions they're making. Right there. Perfect. I mean, let's take a look at this. We're going to follow Kooks here a little bit because he's going to set up... I'm sorry, actually going to follow Marky, who sets up Kooks here, who gets this nice little touch. He redirects it in such a way that it makes it very hard for the defense to adapt in time because they already committed to where they think the ball's going to go. Mm-hmm. They picked their trajectory, and they can't do anything about it.
The redirection in the end is going to be the greatest one. Kooks here almost getting the self-goal off of the crossbar. Not get the finish off with that one, though. And
Yeah,
that could be a goal right there, but ELMP not going to get the clear.
Well, we're going to see. I mean, Supersonic, they're getting a couple chances here and there, but it's mostly these really long, distant shots. Mostly because once they get it in the orange zone, you see Flipside basically doing whatever they have to actually get it out of play and prevent an actual offensive chance from developing. It's just very smart positioning here and a little bit of luck. They've certainly had a lot of luck on Flipside's part right now. A lot of stuff that probably should have gone in that just barely hasn't on their part. But I mean, yeah, right now it is just all Flipside all the time. Nice shot on goal, and actually tried to set up a little low. I think if that had a little more energy on it, it may have stood a chance to go in. But now, back on blue. Here come the orange cars. Let the Flipside show commence. Everybody, okay, everybody was in on that. We're going to go to the aerial cam just so we can watch this. Kooksier made that initial shot. Markey follows up. There's Mike. Every person on that team had some sort of contact on there. And even Supersonic Avengers has to say, just too good.
It is too good when you can just have so many people pick up after your blocks or rebounds and just get easy opportunities. And every shot, every ball, every opportunity that Flipside Tactics has had, they really break the best of these opportunities. So shout out to them, just doing a very solid job cleaning this series down.
They do, and Flipside takes care of Supersonic Avengers in 3 games very convincingly.